The Violence Against Women Act, VAWA Self-Petition under U.S. immigration laws. Please be advised that U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services is closed for all in-person interviews and services until at least June 3rd, 2020. For updated information, please visit the website below. Please be advised that all immigration court hearings for immigrants who are not detained are canceled through at least June 12, 2020. For updated information, please visit the website below. This presentation was prepared by the Urban Justice Center Domestic Violence Project. You can find more information about our organization at our website dvp.urbanjustice.org. You can contact us via email at dvp@urbanjustice.org. You can also call our intake line 1-833-321-4387. We are available Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. till 5 p.m. This training is designed to provide general information about VAWA self-petitions. It is not intended to provide legal advice or guidance on any particular case or matter. When in doubt, please consult a lawyer. The Domestic Violence Project, DVP, is a passionate group of attorneys, advocates, social workers, and volunteers coming together to provide holistic civil, legal, and clinical services to victims and survivors of domestic violence in all 5 boroughs of New York City. Our mission at the Domestic Violence Project is to help survivors of domestic violence and their children live free of violence and abuse. We consider domestic violence in any type of intimate relationship, regardless of gender or sexual identity, to be a human rights violation. Currently, our services includes legal assistance, advocacy, outreach, and training. What is the Violence Against Women Act self-petition, better known as VAWA? For many years, the U.S. immigration laws were being used as tools of power and control over immigrant victims of domestic violence. Sometimes, the non-citizen victim immigration status would depend upon their relationships to their U.S. citizen or lawful permanent resident abusers. The U.S. citizen or LPR abuser would use their power over their non-citizen spouse, children, or parent immigration status to control, threaten, isolate, harass, and coerce the immigrant victims. The battered non-citizen would be deterred from reporting the U.S. citizen or LPR abuser because of the threat or fear of deportation by the immigration officials. The purpose of the VAWA self-petition is to allow a battered non-citizen spouse, child, or parent of the abusive U.S. citizen or LPR to independently petition for lawful immigration status. The idea is to take away the immigration level of power and control that a U.S. citizen or LPR abuser has over an undocumented spouse, child, or parent. Who is eligible for VAWA? The non-citizen who is the spouse, child, or parent of an abusive U.S. citizen or lawful permanent resident and is eligible for immigrant classification based on that relationship. Who may qualify? The abused child of a U.S. citizen or LPR who must be under 21 years old and unmarried. The non-citizen parent of a battered child when the abuse is perpetrated by the U.S. citizen or LPR abuser spouse during the marriage. The parents of a U.S. citizen, not LPRs, who are over 21 years old. The non-citizen spouse of a U.S. citizen or LPR abuser. Their children may be derivative beneficiaries. What are the requirements for a VAWA self-petition? You must be married to a U.S. citizen or LPR. This includes common law marriages. You can show this with a valid marriage certificate. Did your spouse commit bigamy? You may be eligible if you believed that your marriage was valid. Are you divorced from your spouse? You may be eligible if you divorced within the past 2 years. Did your spouse die or lose his or her U.S. citizenship or LPR status? You may still be eligible. Self-petitioners don't have to separate from the abuser in order to file a self-petition. A self-petitioning child must prove that she or he is a natural child, stepchild, or adopted child of a U.S. citizen or LPR abuser. Your marriage was in good faith and not to obtain immigration benefits. There must be joint residency. You must have lived with the abuser at some point. You must be a victim of battery or extreme cruelty. This means that you're a victim of physical violence or threats of harm to others, intimidation and degradation, social isolation or forced detention, sexual abuse. Your spouse used your immigration status to manipulate you. There is harassment and extreme jealousy. There is economic and emotional abuse. And there is verbal abuse. How can I prove extreme cruelty? The Department of Homeland Security will consider any credible evidence. For example, protection orders, police and court records, medical reports, affidavits of school officials, social workers, and shelter workers, among others. You also have to show that you are a person of good moral character. If you have a history of convictions, prostitution, or immigration fraud, these are the most common barriers to finding good moral character. Can you still apply if you entered the United States without inspection? Yes, you can. Take into consideration that there may be some evidentiary issues, so please keep records of your evidence. Once my VAWA self-petition is filed, how long do I have to wait for a decision? Regretfully, we don't have a definite answer to this question. Processing times range from 6 months to 2 years or longer. Administrative problems, backlogs, and other issues delay federal government operations. If your VAWA self-petition gets approved, you are granted deferred action, which means you are protected from deportation. Also, you are allowed to work legally in the United States. Self-petitioners are also eligible for federal financial aid and some public benefits. Self-petitioners are usually eligible to apply for legal permanent resident status. Finally, after having been an LPR for 3 years, a self-petitioner may apply for U.S. citizenship. The following is a list of resources. Thank you, and if you have any questions, please get in touch with us. Our website is dvp@urbanjustice.org. Our email is dvp@urbanjustice.org. Our intake line is 1-833-321-4387. We are available Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. till 5 p.m.